Welcome to the show, where truth takes the mic, where the world spins fast, but we hold it tight. This is the Howie Silbiger Show on True Talk Radio, where the real ones go. Oh, politics, passion, the news of the day, no filter, no fluff, just the Silbiger way, so buckle up tight, let the debates flow. This is your hour, the Howie Silbiger Show. Silbiger Show. Silbiger Show. Politics, passion, the news of the day, no filter, no fluff, just the Silbiger way, so buckle up tight, let the debates flow. This is your hour, the Howie Silbiger Show.
And welcome to the program. My name is Howie Silbiger. This is the Howie Silbiger Show right here on TrueTalkRadio.com. We, of course, are brought to you by the Montreal Jewish News. Check out the Montreal Jewish News, MontrealJewishNews.com. Follow them on Facebook. You could, the app is coming out very soon, so I'll let you know when the app is ready. MontrealJewishNews.com. Subscribe. Just go to the website, subscribe to the mailing list, and all the latest articles from Montreal Jewish News will be emailed to you right into your mailbox. So check out MontrealJewishNews.com. Well, the city of Montreal decided that they were going to get into Canadian foreign policy. And so last night at their council meeting, they decided to entertain an act. It was an act, really. It was all an act, and it was a motion put forward by Project Montreal, which is the left-wing party in the Montreal City Council, and they decided to put forward a motion which called for the city of Montreal to divest from the state of Israel, to condemn the state of Israel for being an apartheid state, to condemn the state of Israel for committing a genocide in Gaza, and to demand that the Canadian Prime Minister will arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he ever steps foot in Canada. I'm a little appalled, and I'll tell you why. It's not so much that the contents of this motion bothered me. It didn't. It's not so much that I really think that if the city of Montreal in Canada, thousands and thousands of miles away from Israel, passes a resolution in their city hall that something is going to change in Israel. It's not that the left-wing radical nutcases that forwarded the motion with the vile language that they forwarded with. That doesn't bother me at all, because that's expected. What bothers me is that the City of Montreal city councillors decided that it was okay to vote for this. That this was something that they would entertain, something that they would argue, something they would debate and then vote on. That's what bothers me more. I was driving today and I hit a pothole. I see vagrants on the street all the time, homeless people all over the place. And yet the only thing the City of Montreal City Council, the council that takes care of the entire city of Montreal, cares about is condemning Israel. It just seems odd to me that a metropolitan city like Montreal, a huge metropolis like Montreal, would decide that this is what they wanted to spend their time debating. But they did. They spent their time debating this. They limited the questions to 3 questions on the topic. I think that's the general rule for Montreal City Council anyway. And then they debated it themselves. The city's mayor said, hey, wait a second, we shouldn't be talking about this. She actually was pretty smart. She said, we shouldn't be talking about this. This is not something that we should be dealing with. This is Canadian foreign policy. It has nothing to do with us. But the disgusting councillors, and they're real vile, those two that proposed this amendment, this motion, are real vile people. Those two went off on their tangent, accusing Israel of the most horrific crimes you could accuse anyone of. They accused Israel of being an apartheid state. They accused Israel of committing a genocide. None of it which is true, by the way. And then some other person in their party got up and started giving this heartfelt speech about how she was a refugee that came from some country in Africa, and that she was oppressed, and she was the victim of a genocide, and she understands genocides. It went on and on and on and on. And I watched this for hours. And I realized two things. Number one, politicians aren't the smartest people in the world. And number two, that the hatred of the Jewish people, and I'm not going to say the Israeli people, I'm not going to say the state of Israel, I'm going to say the Jewish people. The hatred of the Jewish people is so strong and has taken such root in Montreal that this Montreal City Council has to debate whether Israel is an apartheid state and a genocidal state or not. And then they have to put a disclaimer on saying, hey, we're not blaming the Jews that live in Montreal. No, don't get us wrong. We're talking about Israel now. We're not talking about the Jews that live in Montreal. Well, why do you think they had to put that disclaimer in? What do you think the reason they had to put that disclaimer in was? The Jews of Montreal for the last 3 years, at least since October 7th, 2023, have faced an unbelievably high number of attacks, both in Montreal and across Canada. The idea that it's not related, the idea that these attacks happened on the Jewish community right after October 7th, after Jews were attacked in Israel, in a genocidal attack in Israel, which nobody even wants to recognize happened. And then Israel went and defended themselves in Gaza. They were attacked unprovoked from Gaza, and they went and they defended themselves. And now they're the genocide committing people? It's almost a joke. It's the argument's almost a joke. But people take it very seriously, and a motion went forward in the City Hall of Montreal. Now, thank goodness, the mayor and her team were a little smarter than the opposition, and they managed to put in some amendments that watered down the resolution. But the resolution passed anyway, and the city of Montreal declared their amnesty, their brotherhood with the Palestinian people, their support of the Palestinian people, whatever that is, and they declared that they condemn Israel for whatever acts they were doing in Israel. So Project Montreal got what they really wanted, which was adverse publicity for the state of Montreal, for the state of Israel, and for the City Council of Montreal to take a stand on a topic that they really shouldn't have taken a stand on. And the Jewish community claims they got what they wanted, which was a watered-down version of this motion, which is relatively harmless. But it wasn't harmless. Don't let anyone tell you that when a city council debates an issue, that it's harmless. Because you have crazy people out there, nutcases, who will say, hey, the city of Montreal said that Israel's committing genocide, therefore every Jew in the city of Montreal is responsible. And they will attack the Jewish community based on that notion. Don't think nutcases don't exist. They exist everywhere. Don't think they don't exist in Montreal, and don't think that they won't take the lead of the city council and say all the Jews are responsible. Now, the city council was specific when they said we don't blame the Jews of Montreal nor the Israelis of Montreal. They were very specific on that. But don't think that the nutcases won't say, hey, the city of Montreal condemned Israel, therefore Israel's evil, and everybody who supports Israel, everybody who we think supports Israel, is responsible and therefore must suffer. It's been happening all over the place. Every attack on a synagogue, every attack on a random Jew in the street is globalizing the Intifada. This is exactly what Hamas wanted to happen. Jews being attacked around the world, Jews being attacked on the streets, Jews living in fear. This is the goal of terrorism, and this is the result of terrorism, and this is exactly what they were looking for, and the world is supplying them exactly what they're looking for. And good people are sitting around and doing nothing. Saying nothing and doing nothing. Good people are sitting around and just watching this happen. Taking out a bag of popcorn and just chewing on popcorn as this is happening. To me, that's a scary prospect. To me, it is extremely scary that a city would do this. It is extremely scary that the resolution in its original form could have passed. It's possible that it would have passed had it been presented in its original form before amendments were put in to water it down. And it's scary that 6 people still voted for it. Look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'll be very clear and very blunt. The people who were marching in the street, yelling globalized intifada, yelling kill the Jew, which is essentially what globalizing intifada is. Those people are our neighbors, they're our friends, they're the fellow Montrealers, people who live in the city that we live in. Let's be extremely clear and extremely blunt and understand that these people, the people that live with us, want us dead. They want us out of their country, out of their city, out of their country. They want us dead. It's simple as that. They've been honest about it. It's the Jewish community that's been kind of saying, no, that's not what they mean. Look, when my enemy tells me I want you dead, I believe my enemy. I have no reason to doubt somebody who tells me they want to kill me. I have no reason to not fear somebody who wants to kill me. And the community has no reason to believe that when somebody says, let's destroy the community, when somebody says globalized intifada, which is essentially attacking Jews randomly on the street for political reasons, which is the definition of terrorism, when somebody's calling for that and the government doesn't step in and say, no, that's not acceptable speech. No, you're not allowed to do that. No, you can't do that. No, we're going to arrest you for saying that, for instigating. When they realize that they have carte blanche to do whatever they want, then that's how you get these resolutions in front of the city council. That's how you get these resolutions passed. And that's how you justify attacking the community again and again and again and again. It is totally unacceptable. It should be deemed revoltable. You should be revolted by this. And you should not allow your city council to get away with this. If you live in a riding that is not, that is a Project Montreal riding, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. Because not only were they peddling lies, which they were, but they were peddling lies to instigate the crowd to stand up against the Jewish community of Montreal, the people they're supposed to be representing, or at least part of the people that they're supposed to be representing. And that's really what's disgusting about this whole thing. It's what's disgusting about everything. Now, the individual councillors that voted for this, we'll never know who they were unless I go through the video and pick out their faces and names, because they didn't take an individual vote. They just did a show of hands. So we won't know who the councillors who voted yes and the councillors who voted no are, or what parties they were from. But all I know is that I expect more from my city. I expect more from my city councillors. I expect more, period. Now, you could check out an opinion piece I wrote on this. It's a little longer, a little more explicit. You could check that out by going to MontrealJewishNews.com. It's right there on the page. Check that out and a whole lot more on MontrealJewishNews.com. Now, I expect my city council to be focusing on fixing the city. The fact that they didn't, the fact that they decided to focus on Israel, it's just disgusting. I hope that they do better and they redeem themselves. I'm Howie Silbiger. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again next time.